it took me a long time to really get into studios specifically that made anime. It's like having like your favorite game studio or something. And it took me a while to realize like which were the different ones, like the kind of style they practice. And I was kind of looking back at some of the older ones and the ones that are still thriving. And like one of the big ones is Toei.
Yes.
Love Toei.
That studio's a monster. But it's also had a lot of problems. Especially recently, I think with Sailor Moon, Crystal, and Dragon Ball Super, they were in charge of those, and it's just kind of like this, like really baffling questions. Like, is this Toei? Why wouldn't it have like top quality? Like even sometimes with Digimon Adventure Try, like I've had some personal issues with it that people disagree. That's fine. Like some of the production probably wasn't as high as I thought it would be. Like these are like nostalgia properties.
Yeah, or like
these are things that you think they would have like tons of money for.
Right, like it's not a risk. It's not a new IP. It's established. I really hated the animation in Crystal so much. Like it bothered me a lot. Like probably to an extreme that is not fair. I was just really irritated with it.
I mean, yeah, it's this thing we love, and like how dare you mistreat this thing that we've had so much nostalgia for and that you've built up because like, hey guys, Sailor Moon Crystal's coming back and we're ready to show it to you. And they're like, yeah, we've been waiting forever. And then you're like,
and it's like, what happened?
And Mars's eyes are weird and blah blah blah. But what happened to Dragon Ball Super though? That's their flag. I mean, they used to do everything. They used to do Slam Dunk, Fist of the North Star, One Piece, Dragon Ball, Saint Seiya, Sailor Moon, and then Dragon Ball Super is like, like if you compare it to the '90s quality, what happened?
It's just
I don't know. I know they
right
farmed
now.
it out, right? Like they farmed a lot of the animation out to studios and either.
You still think there'd be a quality control?
Sure, thing. But I'm just wondering. Was it even necessary? I mean, this goes back to nobody seems to be making money. So was it a financial issue where they didn't have a choice?
Yes, but to go back to Miranda's point, like these are. Like, I mean, we just finished talking about the financial struggles of the industry, but these are the ones where you'd think there'd be the most money.
Right, and like they have so many products out there. Like there's so many.
This isn't like an accusatory, like what happened, Toei? It's more like legitimately what
happened,
Toei? I know, like, how dare you, Toei? But I'm like literally, and now I'm worried. Are you okay?
Like, Toei,
right?
do you need help?
Can I get you
One Piece is okay.
water?
Can I? Do you need a hug?
Some are okay.
Have you noticed any drop in quality animation in terms of One Piece? It's been going on for years, or is it like the same and everything's okay?
You know, the whole milking thing is starting to.
Sure.
You can definitely see, but animation, not that I've noticed personally. But yeah, I don't know. Every time I see that dang cat, I'm like, I'm gonna like this. It's like, oh, Toei, cool.
All right, so maybe it's not a company-wide thing. I find it weird that
It
Sailor
might be case
Moon
by case.
Yeah, it might be, but Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball, I don't know.
Yeah, you think they would get on that, but.
I don't know. I don't know if they farmed it out to the same people overseas, and that's the link.
Yes, like that's the thing to recognize too, is that even though a show is produced by one studio, they will oftentimes get help for like in betweens or other things from others. Like there's like freelance animation is a big thing.
Yeah, not key animations, but the other ones.
All sorts of
like the in betweens or something.
The in betweens, yeah.
There's a lot that gets passed around between different studios. It's another thing you'll see in Shirobako. But specifically with Dragon Ball Super, we've kind of got some word on what's happening, just like a very little bit. So there was an interview with Anime News Network conducted with a few people from Dragon Ball's past and like what they do. So producer from Dragon Ball Kai and Resurrection F, Hayashida, kind of made a comment saying like that the criticism is too much, like that he thinks that
he was like, oh, you know, they put the super bad ones together to make it look worse than it was on the internet or whatever.
Yeah, and he says you cannot criticize an entire product by only looking at a few sequences, which I think is fair.
That's a fair.
That is fair.
Totally.
And he said that the animators responsible for those scenes are newbies who just started working at this level in the industry, which means their skills are evolving right now. Anyway, they are good animators, and I just do not understand why they get picked on to such a degree. And I guess that goes back to like the fan entitlement in a way.
Yeah.
Like this is such a big property. Like why is this not better? And I guess
which I understand.
Right.
I do understand that.
And like taking a look at Shirobako, like with production schedules and how tense it is, it's still a little weird that some of it gets passed through. The one plus side is that the scenes usually do get cleaned up for the Blu-ray.
That's true. That happened with Crystal. They did clean up the scenes
cool.
for the Blu-ray, but the weird thing about Super, it's not licensed still, right?
Yeah, so
like
it's still not licensed in the United States. I think
which
they're gonna.
Is so strange to me.
I forget. I think they're sharing. They're going to do an English dub sometime this year for a different country. I forget which ones. I have to look it up real fast. So it is getting licensed to other places outside of Japan, just not North America so far.
Which I find really strange. I know Funimation's just try to be all over this, I'm sure.
I mean,
because
they have
a huge flagship for them.
Have all the Dragon Ball stuff. So that's the big question is like, what's going on behind the scenes with that negotiation? What's going on with the animation, regardless of your opinion? I haven't seen it because I just wasn't going to watch it until it came over here legally because, again, that's just something that I personally try very hard to do. So I actually have no opinion on the animation either way.
Other than like the screenshots we've seen.
Other than what I've seen.
Really
yeah. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's really not clear what's going on with it. It's sort of dead on arrival. It's weird. It's like, oh, where are you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious to know how it's being received in like animation quality aside, how it's being received in Japan right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there is a quote from Akira Toriyama from attackofthefanboy.com, which I think they got from a different translation from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Not 100% sure on this. I think
if I looked at it, was it in Jump Fiesta or something else?
Something. And that said that Akira Toriyama was actually disappointed by the animation. Mm-hmm. So that's a...
Oh, yeah. Japan's V-Jump published Dragon Ball 30th Anniversary Super History book. Apparently, there is some comments by Akira Toriyama that says, inside I've been upset at Dragon Ball in the past, as well as a live-action film that came later. I revised the script for the anime film, and I've complained about the quality of the TV anime. Maybe someday it'll be a work that I'll like so much that I won't be able to leave it alone.
So... grim, but hopefully it gets better. Like, hopefully Toei gets better with whatever's happening.
Yeah.
Whether it's just them trying to find, like, more time or what. Mm-hmm. But I guess we will see in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Thinking good thoughts for Dragon Ball.
Oh, yeah.
Because it means so much to so many people.
Maybe one day we'll get it.
Yay! Let us know what you think of the situation in the comments.